This is Startup Biz Coach Radio, formerly known as Mornings with Terry, and we're empowering entrepreneurs right from the start. Find us at thestartupbizcoach.com every morning at 10 a.m. Eastern with your host, Terry Clay. Are you ready to get this business started?
Hey, this is Terry Clay, and I am back with another episode of the Startup Biz Coach Radio.
Hey, this is Terry Clay, and I am back with another episode of the Startup Biz Coach Radio. Yeah. So we are back on the call yet another day. We do this call every single day, Monday through Friday. And then on Monday through Thursday, we always have just some empowerment guests, some guests, entrepreneurial, successful entrepreneur guests on the call. And we're just excited to be back doing the call yet another day. And we just want to say thank you for you all just coming back to the call. I get so many inboxes and messages and people telling me how the call for the day has impacted their life. And so I'm just thankful that you all have stuck with me. And, you know, we started this call, maybe it's been 6 months now, and I did the call myself every single day, and we have just evolved and grown. And, you know, that's how I always tell you all as a startup businesses, everything may not be all together. It may not have all your ducks in a row day one, but if you just get out there and start, you know, it's going to all come to you and it's going to all grow. But as we do every Monday through Thursday, we always have guests on the call. We have another guest, successful entrepreneur on the call. And as we do at the Startup Biz Coach Radio, we allow our guests to introduce themselves. So, Aprille, please tell us who you are and what you do.
Absolutely, yes. Hello. Thank you, Terry Clay, for having me today. I appreciate that. Starting off the Monday right, starting off this week right. I'm Aprille Franks-Hunt. I'm the CEO of Women Recharged, an empowerment company that helps women basically cultivate their message and so that they can have a voice in various areas of their life, be it personally or professionally. And then I'm also the creator of Coach, Speak, and Serve, which is a new training institute and coaching institute that we have been developing for entrepreneurs who want to leverage coaching, speaking, and writing as a part of them growing their business and creating additional revenue streams. So in a nutshell, that's what I do.
Wow. I know you're busy. Yes, that's what it's all about, making that money. I know you're very busy. I always see you all over the place, here and there. And so I asked you before the call, I said, what are you doing now? I know you're doing something. So I know you're having a conference coming up. So tell them a little bit about your conference that you have. I think this is the third year.
Yes. So this is our third conference that we've done. This is our second Fabulous New You conference. You know, the conference is March 20th and 21st in Oklahoma City this year. And, you know, really it's geared towards, there's a professional and a personal track, you know, so the fabulousness is about your personal, you know, self-love and relationships and all those things that help you balance out the professional part of you, you know, which is, you know, strategies and branding and social media and, you know, developing good content plans and how do you generate more revenue, you know, and those things. So it's really the best of both worlds. And we'll be having, you know, I think we have like over 25 speakers coming from all over the country. The editor-at-large of Black Enterprise is one of our keynote speakers, Alfred Edmond Jr., Zara Green from the Grown Zone, Zenobia Andrews from Max Out, Carrie Murphy, just a lot of people coming in, Jay Barnett, from different places around the country to help people, you know, live a great life, you know, and some of those tools come from, like I said, the personal piece, because you got to have that together. You can't be a personal mess and a business success. And then what's the strategy behind your business? How do you, you know, grow? How do you make that happen? And then, Terry, something we added this year is a component for men, because we mostly speak to women, but, of course, men go where women are. And so what we've done is just kind of opened it. We just kind of opened it up, and we're having just a mini summit, if you will, during one of the days for the men, so they can come and learn, and it's called Men Who Lead, and you know, learn the pieces of the things that we want men to know about life, love, and business. So we're looking forward to having that as well.
I'm actually looking at your site. I see some of the guests. I know Cheryl Wood and Patrice Washington.
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, wow, this is great. So it's like, what, 25 speakers?
Yes, it's going to be really great.
Yeah, it looks like it. Oh, I know. Two of these. Now the more I'm looking at it, I was looking at your site before the call, and I didn't get to that page, so I guess I missed it out. I missed out on it. But yeah. So let me ask you something. I always try to kind of lead people, the people. This is Startup Biz Coach Radio, so a lot of people are kind of new. So how did you get to the point where you're having a conference with 25 speakers? If somebody on the call might be listening and saying, "Wow, that's something I would like to do." How did you get to that point from the beginning?
From the beginning, I think it's really about believing that it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Before you activate because let me just say, I'm not driven by money. I'm driven by purpose, and money comes as a result of that. And I think, when you believe that something is possible and you work for it, you just kind of grow and evolve. And I think, and also understanding that it doesn't happen overnight. Like people, like there's this glamorousness, of success that people want. People want what they see. They don't want what they don't see. So they don't see all the hard work and everything that goes into putting things together. So I think, but first, you really have to believe, and you have to start educating yourself in the area where you want to be excellent. And I think also you have to go into it with the mindset that excellence is where you're striving for. I think there's a lot of mediocre everything out there, and I'm not about that life. And my expectation from people is that they can be excellent and that they should in whatever they put their hands on. So I think training yourself, immersing yourself in the lane that you really want to drive in and you want to take part in, and also believing that it is possible. Your mindset is so imperative, and not limiting what you want just because you don't have it yet or you don't know anyone that has it doesn't mean it's not possible for you. It's possible for you. You just have to believe, and you have to kind of activate yourself in that lane.
Yeah. I saw a video, I think, with Steve Harvey on it, and when he was a child, his teacher, he said he wanted to be on TV. They said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" He said, "I want to be on TV." And his teacher kind of said, "Do you know anybody on TV? Have you talked to somebody on TV?" He's like, "No." Well, go home and find another place. And she even went so far to go home and tell his mother and all this other stuff. And my point of saying this is he didn't know anybody on TV. And even though they went on to, I think what happened was his father said, "Okay, go tell me you want to be a policeman, but every day I want you to go look at this paper and say, I want to be on TV. I'm going to be on TV." And I'm just mentioning that story because that's actually what you're saying. It's kind of believing that you can have whatever it is that you want in life and working on that mindset.
Absolutely. I totally believe that. And it's not, really, you really can, and it doesn't matter if you don't know how. I think people worry a lot about the how they're going to do something, but, but I don't have the education, but I don't have access, but I don't know who but I'm not as pretty as she is, but I'm not as thin, but I'm not as this. I think a lot of people have a lot of buts, and you really have to move past them because everyone has them. Everyone has a story as to why they can't get in the driver's seat, or where they want to be. Hell, I have a story,
Right.
But the story is not an excuse to not do. The story should be a motivator and an indicator that you're capable, of doing something great.
Yeah, I like that. And actually, I read your book. Tell them a little bit about your book. I read it, and actually, I got the book and I read it in a 24-hour period. So it's a very good book. It kept I was all flipping the pages. So tell them about your book that you wrote, and because it does have your story in it.
Sure. Confessions of an Independent Woman, Truth, Lies, and Relationships. I wrote that in 2011, and we're getting ready to release the expanded and revised edition of that finally this year. And, the book is about just my journey as a woman. It's not really about business. It's just about the things that women deal with behind the scenes, so you see all the glamour, but you don't know what life is dealing people, as they're in their pursuit of success and their pursuit of following their passion and what they were meant to do. And that's what the book is about. So I break down a lot of challenges that I have conquered in my life, and a lot of things that held me down, and even though it may not have appeared to be down to other people, mentally or emotionally, those things were kind of heavy. So, from just different kinds of abuses, to going bankrupt, to, putting almost damn near homeless. I mean, I can go on and on about different experiences, that have occurred, but that still doesn't stop the belief, and what you were meant to do. And I think sharing your story, using your voice, cultivating your message is a huge part of how the world moves and how we work. And that's why I'm passionate about helping women and entrepreneurs in general, with their messaging, because this whole journey started for me because I decided to free myself and tell my story.
Right. Yeah, like I told you, your book it was a powerful book. I didn't even realize how much we were alike, and we've been checking Facebook friends for I don't know some years. I know, I followed you. I've looked at you, tit for tat, but vice versa. And then when I read the book, I was like, wow, there's a lot I like.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I never would have known that. But yeah, it was
a lot of women are. A lot of people, a lot of people in general, we are a lot alike. And I think for the most part, there's this, and I think it's coming out in the last, 2 years, maybe women are being more transparent and more authentic. And I think the more people who are obedient to what they were purposed to do as they speak out more, I think it gives other women and other people permission to be authentic with themselves as well,
Yeah.
And, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And I was just going to share, Terry, it's just one of those things. Like I share the story about me, dropping out of high school and the first day of my 12th grade year, and so that's another one of those buts. And people have all kinds of excuses, as to why they can't do the next thing that they want to do. And I think once you commit, and not just get serious, right? Because everyone's serious, okay? But there's all kind of serious people not doing anything. They're seriously not happy. So once you, I think, commit, then it's just, I think the sky is the limit, because I think your actions are driven by your commitment.
Exactly. And nothing will stop them, no matter what the excuse. I actually had a lady whose interview went live today, and she travels the world. I mean, she's in Malta now, and with an 8-year-old. And she said that people think that you can't travel with the 8-year-old because, they make the excuses of, I got an 8-year-old. I have to, he has to be in school. And she said she made up her mind that no, I'm gonna do what I want to do. And it is about making excuses or making the decision that you're gonna have the life that you desire, no matter what. And that's how I believe that dreams come true.
Absolutely.
So, So how can you tell somebody to start living the fabulously electric life you deserve? What advice can you give them on that? I see that on your site.
Fabulous. The word fabulous means extraordinary. And so in order to I think to really be happy, I think you have to accept that there's something about you that is extraordinary, that you were meant and that you're worthy. I think that's a huge piece of people's, if stagnation is a word, I think that it's a huge part of why people are stagnant, because they don't believe that that the better and the greatness that they see in other people, that they can have that or that they deserve that.
Right.
And I think once people accept that, that in fact you can, you are worthy, that it's your birthright, that you're not mediocre, I think that's the beginning of living a fabulous life. And it's not about perfection. It's not about everything being perfect. Okay, so don't get me wrong there. It's about your perspective, about what's happening in life and how you now choose to deal with it now that you know why you're here.
Right. Well,
and I think that's really, I think that's really a big thing. And then happy just comes from knowing what you're here for. And everything is not as serious as we have made it in the past,
Right.
You gotta live a
Right.
little.